There is a chaotic war waged in silence between men and women, a war not of weapons, but of perception. You walk through life feeling the weight of solitude, often blind to the reality that desire is directed at you. The greatest tragedy of the modern man is not that he is unwanted, but that he is unobservant. He lacks the stoic stillness required to see the ripples in the water. Desire, in its truest female form, is rarely a scream. It is a whisper. It is a biological imperative wrapped in social conditioning. Women are evolutionary architects of concealment. History, survival, and social dynamics have taught them to guard their reputation and their heart with a shield of ambiguity. But the Stoic knows that nature cannot hide forever. As Marcus Aurelius reminded us, everything that happens as it should, and if you observe carefully, you will find this to be so. When a woman desires you, her conscious mind may try to hide it to maintain power or safety, but her subconscious, her nature, cannot help but reveal the truth. To see these signs, you must strip away your own ego, your anxiety, and your desperation. You must become a ghost in the room, an observer who sees the truth not as he wishes it to be, but as it actually is. Understanding female psychology through the lens of Stoicism requires you to accept a fundamental truth. Human beings are driven by signals often beyond their control. We are emotional creatures trying to act rational. When a woman is secretly burning with desire for you, she is in a state of internal conflict. There is the pull of attraction, the biological urge to mate, to bond, to be near a strong masculine presence, and the push of societal protection, the fear of rejection, judgment, or choosing the wrong partner. This friction creates heat. It creates specific, observable behaviors that are universal across cultures. Most men miss these because they are too busy projecting their own insecurities onto the woman. They are looking for a billboard when they should be looking for a tremble. We are here to decode that silence. We are here to uncover the architecture of her hidden longing. If you seek to master this reality, to understand the deep currents of human nature, and walk the path of the superior Stoic man, ensure you have subscribed to this channel and turned on notifications. We are building a fraternity of wisdom here, and you do not want to be left in the darkness of ignorance. Let us descend into the first and most profound indicator of hidden desire. This is not merely about looking. It is about the transference of energy. The eyes are the only part of the central nervous system that is visible from the outside. When a woman desires you, her eyes betray her long before her words do. This brings us to the first immutable sign, the subconscious gaze and the dilation of vulnerability. In the realm of high-value psychology, we talk about the gaze not as a casual look, but as a biological hijacking. When a woman finds a man desirable, her brain releases a cocktail of dopamine and oxytocin. These neurochemicals force a physical reaction that she cannot suppress. Her pupils dilate. This is the body's way of trying to take in more of you. It is a hunger. But the Stoic observer notices the nuance. It is not just a stare. It is the pattern of the eyes. You will notice the look and look away phenomenon. This is the tension of desire and modesty. She looks at you, her attraction pulling her gaze toward your face, your eyes, your mouth. But the moment you catch her, the social pressure kicks in, and she looks down or away. This is not disinterest. This is submission to the tension. A woman who is indifferent will look through you or scan past you. A woman who desires you looks at you, gets caught, and breaks contact because the energy is too intense for her to hold. Furthermore, we must analyze the triangle of intimacy. This is a specific scanning pattern rooted in evolutionary biology. In a platonic or professional setting, a woman's gaze typically oscillates between your eyes and your forehead, the zone of power and intellect. However, when desire enters the equation, the triangle flips. Her gaze drops. She moves from eye to eye and then down to your lips and back up. Why? Because the subconscious mind is evaluating your mouth for intimacy. She is unknowingly simulating the act of kissing you or being close to you. This happens in split seconds. The average anxious man is too busy worrying about what he is going to say next to notice this micro-expression. The Stoic man, however, is silent. He is watching. He sees the eyes drop. He sees the hesitation. He understands that she is checking for his reaction. She is testing the waters to see if you are observant enough to lead the interaction where she wants it to go, but fears to take it herself. There is also a deeper, darker psychological element to this gaze: the prolonged exposure. Normal social eye contact lasts about 3 seconds. Anything longer than that creates an immense amount of pressure. If she holds your gaze for 4, 5, or 6 seconds, she is issuing a silent challenge. She is opening the gates of her soul and inviting you to enter. In Stoicism, we practice the art of maintaining our center. When she holds this gaze, she is looking for your strength. If you look away first out of nervousness, you break the tension and signal lower status. If you hold the gaze with a calm, indifferent warmth, a slight smirk perhaps, but total composure, you signal that you are a man who can handle her intensity. You become the rock against which her waves crash. This deep, penetrating eye contact is her way of asking, is he strong enough? Can he handle me? It is a sign of intense, secret desire because it requires her to be vulnerable. To stare is to be seen. If she allows you to see her this deeply, she is already yours. She is just waiting for you to realize it. This is part 2. We continue the descent into the deep psychology of attraction, moving from the eyes to the physical laws of space and synchronization. Script 7. Signs a woman is secretly desiring you. Stoic perspective. Part 2. The geometry of intimacy and the mirror of the soul. Having mastered the language of the eyes, the Stoic man must now turn his attention to the laws of physics that govern human interaction, space and time. Desire is a force that seeks to collapse the distance between two objects. This brings us to the second sign, which is the erosion of proxemics and the haptic test. In the study of nonverbal communication, proxemics refers to the amount of space people feel it necessary to set between themselves and others. Edward T. Hall, a renowned anthropologist, defined the intimate zone as the space ranging from physical contact out to about 18 inches. This is sacred territory. It is defended space. In a neutral state, a woman will naturally guard this zone against men she views as threats or strictly platonic peers. However, when secret desire takes root, her biological imperative overrides her territorial defense. She will find reasons to invade this space. This is not accidental. It is a subconscious maneuver to test your receptivity and to smell your pheromones, the chemical signals of compatibility. You will observe this in the incidental touch. The woman who desires you will create scenarios where physical contact is inevitable or accidental. It is the brush of her arm against yours when you are walking side by side, even though there is plenty of room on the path. It is the knee that lingers against yours under the table during a conversation. A woman who is not interested will recoil immediately if such contact occurs, apologizing or shifting her body away to re-establish the boundary. The woman who desires you will let that contact linger. She is testing the electric current between you. From a Stoic perspective, this is the moment of amor fati, loving what is. Do not flinch. Do not overreact. Many men destroy this moment by jumping into aggression or shrinking away in apology. The superior man simply exists in the space she has entered. He accepts her presence within his guard without surrendering his composure. Furthermore, watch for preening behaviors within this close proximity. While in your space, does she smooth her hair? Does she adjust her jewelry or expose her neck? The neck is one of the most vulnerable parts of the human anatomy. Exposing it is a primordial sign of submission and trust. If she tilts her head, exposing her carotid artery while standing within your intimate zone, nature is screaming what her voice refuses to say. She feels safe with you, and she wants you closer. Moving deeper into the psyche, we encounter the third sign, which is perhaps the most profound display of subconscious alignment: isopraxis, or the phenomenon of mirroring. In Stoicism, we understand that the universe operates through sympathia, the concept that all things are mutually woven together and connected. On an interpersonal level, when a woman is secretly desiring you, she intuitively seeks to be in harmony with you. This manifests as mirroring. This is not a conscious mimicry, which often looks like mockery. This is a delayed, fluid synchronization of behavior. The brain contains mirror neurons that fire when we observe an action performed by someone we admire or desire. We want to be like them to connect with them. If you lean forward, she leans forward. If you take a sip of your drink, watch the clock. Within 20 to 30 seconds, she will likely take a sip of hers. If you speak slowly and with a deep, calm resonance, her voice will drop in pitch and speed to match yours. This goes beyond simple body language. It is an attempt to synchronize emotional states. She is subconsciously signaling, I am like you, therefore, we are one. This is a survival mechanism rooted in the need for pair bonding. By mirroring you, she is trying to reduce the friction between your two souls. She is validating your existence. For the Stoic man, this is a critical tool for calibration. You can actively test this. Change your posture. If you are sitting with legs crossed, uncross them and plant your feet firmly on the ground. Wait. Observe. Does she adjust? If she follows your lead, she is locked into your reality. Her focus is entirely on you. If she remains rigid and disconnected from your movements, her desire is low or non-existent. But be warned, this power of observation is heavy. It requires you to be present, to be out of your head and into the moment. Most men are too busy thinking about their next line to notice that the woman across from them has just synchronized her breathing with theirs. Do not be that man. Join us, subscribe to this channel, and sharpen your mind. We discuss these nuances because the difference between a lonely man and a fulfilled man is often just the ability to see what is right in front of him. When she mirrors you, she is surrendering her individuality for a moment to become part of a unit with you. It is the highest form of nonverbal complement. This is part 3. We now move from the physical realm into the verbal and psychological battleground, exploring how she investigates your mind and tests your strength. Script 7. Signs a woman is secretly desiring you. Stoic perspective. Part 3. The forensic inquiry and the paradox of friction. As we ascend the ladder of psychological revelation, we move away from the silent signals of the body and into the complex arena of verbal engagement. This brings us to the 4th sign, the forensic inquiry and the memory vault. Most men mistake conversation for mere noise, but for a woman concealing desire, conversation is an investigation. She is not just talking to you, she is qualifying you. The average woman is polite. She will engage in small talk about the weather, work, or generalities. But a woman who desires you secretly needs to know if you are a suitable vessel for her emotional investment. Therefore, her curiosity shifts from breadth to depth. You will notice a distinct change in the caliber of her questions. She stops asking what you do and starts asking why you do it. She delves into your philosophy, your childhood, your fears, and your ambitions. This is the forensic inquiry. She is looking for cracks in your armor, or rather, she is looking to see if your armor is solid. In Stoicism, we value the man who listens more than he speaks, but here, she is forcing you to speak to reveal your character. She wants to know if your values align with hers, not just for today, but for a potential future. Furthermore, this desire manifests in an uncanny ability to retain information, the memory vault. If you mentioned 3 weeks ago, in passing, that you prefer your coffee black or that you have a difficult relationship with a sibling, and she brings this up today, it is not a coincidence. It is a sign of high-value obsession. The female brain is wired to catalog details about high-priority targets. By remembering the minutiae of your life, she is signaling that you occupy rent-free space in her mind, even when you are not physically present. A woman does not waste mental energy storing data on men she views as irrelevant. If she remembers the small things, it is because she is building a mental model of you, analyzing you, and fantasizing about how you fit into her narrative. The Stoic man notices this but remains humble. He acknowledges her memory with a nod, understanding that this attention is a gift of her energy, a clear indicator that she is already invested in the idea of us, even if she hasn't admitted it yet. This leads us directly into the 5th sign, which is often the most confusing for the uninitiated man. The paradox of friction, or the Stoic test. Conventional wisdom suggests that if a woman likes you, she will make things easy for you. This is a half-truth. If she is infatuated, yes, she may be agreeable. But if she deeply desires a strong masculine partner, she will instinctively test your strength. This manifests as playfulness, teasing, or even slight contrarianism. She might make fun of your shirt, challenge your opinion, or create a small, playful obstacle in the conversation. This is not disrespect. This is a shit test. She is poking the bear to see if it flinches. She needs to know, are you grounded? Is your self-worth internal, as the Stoics teach, or does it crumble the moment a woman withdraws her validation? If she is indifferent, she will simply be polite and boring. She won't risk the social friction of teasing you. But if she desires you, she wants to feel the texture of your personality. She creates friction to generate heat. She wants to see if you can hold your frame, if you can laugh off her tease with a smirk, or if you get defensive and insecure. The woman is essentially asking, if I bring chaos, can he bring order? When she throws these verbal jabs, she is secretly hoping you will catch them with ease. She wants you to win. She wants you to be the unshakable rock. A man who gets offended by her playful teasing demonstrates emotional fragility, killing the desire instantly. But the man who understands that this friction is a form of flirtation, a way of engaging with his masculinity, passes the test. He smiles. He agrees and amplifies. He remains stoic. He understands that she is not fighting him. She is fighting her own attraction to him, trying to ensure he is worthy of the surrender she secretly craves. If she is giving you a hard time in a playful manner, she is trying to see if you are hard enough to handle her. We must now address the extension of the human consciousness in the modern era, the digital realm. This brings us to the sixth sign, the digital orbit and the passive pursuit. In a Stoic sense, we might view social media as a theater of vanity, but for the observer of human nature, it is a treasure trove of intent. When a woman desires you but is restrained by social conditioning from pursuing you directly, she will pursue you passively through technology. She becomes an orbiter. You will notice her presence constantly on the periphery of your digital life. She is often the first to view your stories, not because of an algorithm, but because she has likely visited your profile enough times that the algorithm prioritizes you, or she has your notifications turned on. This is the modern equivalent of walking past your house hoping to catch a glimpse of you. Pay close attention to the archaeological like. If you receive a notification that she has liked a photo from 2 years ago, know this. This was not an accident. She was deep diving into your history. She was consuming your past to understand your present. This is a slip of the finger caused by deep fascination. Furthermore, observe the speed of her digital responsiveness. In a world where everyone is busy and plays games of delayed gratification to appear high value, the woman who secretly desires you often breaks this rule. If you message her and she replies instantly, or if she sends you low investment content like memes or funny videos without much context, she is pinging you. She is waving a digital flag saying, I am here. I am thinking of you. Please interact with me. She is handing you an opening, hoping you are the man perceptive enough to walk through it. She wants you to initiate, but she is doing everything in her power to make that initiation easy for you. Do not ignore these digital echoes. They are the ripples of a stone thrown into the water of her mind by your existence. Finally, we arrive at the seventh and most definitive sign. This is the sign that separates mere attraction from deep, burning desire. It is the vulnerability release and the breaking of the mask. Society teaches women to be composed, perfect, and guarded. They wear a mask of competence and beauty to survive in the world. But when a woman desires a man, she wants to be known by him. She wants to be seen without the armor. The ultimate sign is when she exposes her shadow self to you. She will begin to share her fears, her anxieties, her past traumas, or the parts of herself she deems imperfect. She might let you see her without makeup, or in her comfortable, unglamorous clothes. She might confess a worry she hasn't told her best friends. Why does she do this? Because desire is, at its core, a wish for merger. She is testing your capacity to hold her chaos. The Stoic man is a sanctuary. She is unconsciously asking, if I show him my darkness, will he run away, or will he stand firm? If she is complaining to you about her bad day, she is not just venting. She is seeking your masculine stability to balance her feminine fluctuation. She is trusting you with the rawest parts of her soul. This is the highest compliment. It signifies that she views you not just as a sexual prospect, but as a leader, a protector, and a confidant. She is handing you the keys to her emotional kingdom. If you see this sign, this shedding of the public persona, understand that the war is over. She has surrendered. The gates are open. Conclusion. The Stoic call to action. You now possess the 7 keys. You have looked into the eyes of biology, understood the geometry of space, decoded the mirror, analyzed the inquiry, passed the test of friction, observed the digital orbit, and witnessed the vulnerability release. The question now is not, does she desire me? The question is, what will you do with this truth? The Stoic does not act on impulse, but he also does not hesitate when the path is clear. Memento mori, remember that you will die. Time is the one resource you can never get back. If you see these signs, do not wait for a written invitation. Do not wait for the perfect moment, for it does not exist. Nature rewards courage. The universe favors the bold. If you have identified these signs, your duty as a man is to lead. Step into the space she has created. Bridge the gap. Speak your intent. The worst that can happen is rejection, which the Stoic accepts with indifference. The best that can happen is the union of 2 souls in desire. Do not be the man who looks back on his life with regret, realizing he was loved, but was too blind to see it. Be the observer. Be the actor. Be the Stoic. If this knowledge has sharpened your mind and opened your eyes, you know what to do. Join our fraternity. Subscribe to the channel right now. Hit the notification bell. We are building a legion of men who see the world clearly, who understand psychology, and who master their own fate. Do not remain in the dark. Join us in the light of wisdom. The next lesson is already being prepared, and you cannot afford to miss it. Proceed with strength. We have traversed the landscape of the feminine soul. We have dissected the biology of the gaze, the physics of proximity, the mirroring of the spirit, and the vulnerability of the heart. You now possess something dangerous, knowledge. But in the philosophy of Stoicism, knowledge without action is not wisdom, it is cowardice. The tragedy of the modern man is not that he is incapable of being loved, but that he is paralyzed by the what-ifs. He sees the sign, he feels the electricity, he notices the lingering touch, and yet, he freezes. He allows the moment to die because he fears the rejection of the moment more than he fears the regret of a lifetime. Do not be this man. Seneca once wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Your fear of misreading these signs is a ghost. The reality is that nature favors the bold. If a woman is displaying these behaviors, if she is entering your space, testing your frame, and showing you her scars, she is waiting for you to cross the threshold. She has done her part. She has signaled. Now, the burden of leadership falls on you. To see the truth and ignore it is an act of self-betrayal. If you walk away from a door that has been opened for you, do not complain when you find yourself standing in the cold. Take a moment. Look at your life. Are you a spectator, watching from the sidelines, analyzing signals but never playing the game? Or are you a participant? This video was not just information. It was a mirror. If you saw yourself in these scenarios, if you realized you missed opportunities in the past, let that pain sharpen you. Let it be the fuel for your future. The next time the eyes lock, the next time the distance closes, the next time she challenges you, remember this moment. Remember that you are a man of value, a man of perception, a man who understands the silent language of desire. This is the path we walk here. This is the fraternity of the awake. If you found value in this analysis, if you want to continue stripping away the lies of society, to reveal the raw truth of human nature, then you must align yourself with us. Click the subscribe button right now. Do not just watch. Commit. Turn on the notifications. We are building a library of wisdom for the superior man, and the next lesson will challenge you even further than this one. The signs are there. The desire is real. The only variable left in the equation is you.